This killing business is hard enough without having to clean the bodies. Testing. Can you lot hear me? Alright, perfect. Just for the sake of formalities, I would like you all to state your name and how you got here. I'll go first. My name is Lawrence Wargrave, and I was invited by my friend Constance.
My name is Vera Claythorne, and I'm a former governess. I was invited to Soldier Island to serve as a secretary to a Miss Una Owen.
I'm Philip Lombard. Mr. Isaac Morris has hired me, supposedly because Mr. Owens needs a good man in a tight spot.
Hello everyone. My name is Edward Armstrong. I am a doctor, and how I got to this island is through Mr. Owens wanting me to check up on his wife, Mrs. Owens.
Recording 1. Let's all address our crimes in the past. I'll go first. Everybody here knows about my killing of Edward Stanton, but nobody here knows the true reason. I managed to convince the entire jury of his non-innocence. Everybody somehow seemed to think that he was an innocent man of his crimes. His defense was impeccable. However, I swayed the jury to my side, and I had him hung days later.
Well, I guess I'll have to then. I let Cyril Hamilton drown so that his relative Hugo would inherit his money and then be rich enough to marry me. But Hugo knew I did it, and he still wouldn't marry me. These memories, they carry me with guilt. I cannot do this anymore.
I left 21 men from an East African tribe to die in the bush. There was only enough food for myself and my friend, so we took off with all the food.
Well, Justice. Believe me, I am a professional man. I truly mean no harm, and I certainly did not commit this drastic thing you call murder. But, sadly, in a drunken haze, I did cause the death of Louisa Mary Cleese, and it forever haunts me to this day.
Recording 2. I'd like to discuss the previous killings with you lot, if that's alright. So, Anthony Marston, he was poisoned with cyanide in his drink. Damn, what a way to go.
And then there was Mrs. Rogers, who died in her sleep to an overdose. But I think it was Dr. Armstrong who did it, because he was the one to...
Gentlemen, I completely agree with Vera. Before John MacArthur was hit in the head with that heavy object, I suspected the doctor, Dr. Armstrong.
And then there was Mr. Rogers. He was a fine man, but sadly he was killed with an axe to the head in the shed.
And next came Emily Brent. Her death seemed rather suspicious in my opinion, seeing as she was injected with a lethal dose of potassium cyanide. Something that only Dr. Armstrong would know how to procure.
Why? These accusations? How dare you accuse me of General MacArthur, Emily Brent's, and Mrs. Rogers' death? I am simply performing my job as a doctor. These circumstances in which they have died, I do not know either, neither how the injection got out of my bag. These are truly all tragic, but please believe me, Justice.
Alright. I see how it is. Whoever must be behind these attacks must be a professional. For this reminds me of the attacks from Jack the Ripper back in the day. I learned about his killings during law school. Terrible times they were.
Well, I think it's Dr. Armstrong because he was in the room when she overdosed and he went to go check on her. It all just makes so much sense.
I completely agree, Vera.
Thank you.
Vera, you blame everybody else except yourself. Let's look into your history. You seem to be very close with Emily and Mrs. Rogers, were you not?
Yes, I was.
But Justice, I trust Vera completely.
Well, how can you trust anybody when you killed 21 people? It seems like you're pretty into mass murder, if I do so say myself.
Yes, I concur with Dr. Armstrong with this
Lord.
evidence. What do you have to say for yourself?
Simply false.
Vera?
Well, I don't know what to think. I didn't kill anyone. I believe it was Dr. Armstrong.
Well, Justice, if I do so say, it appears that these two are of most suspicion.
I quite agree with you. In my line of work, I've hung many people, and they were all guilty of killing all other crimes. I suspect these two were conspiring together to kill.
But I would never.
That's what they all said. Yet they all ended up on the gallows, hung.
Oh.
Recording 3. Alright, Armstrong. I'd like to have a private chat with you, if you don't mind.
Oh my, Justice. Why? I shall be delighted.
So, I propose a alliance between you and I. We both suspect that Vera and Lombard are the ones behind the killings. So I propose that I fake my own death in order to draw the killers out in the limelight. What do you think?
My, what a splendid idea. And with my expertise, who would refute the death of you?
Wonderful. Simply wonderful.
Yes, this shall bring out the killer once and for all. Recording number 4. Guys, the doctor has been shot. I can confirm this. He is dead.
And who was on the scene while the doctor was? Dr. Armstrong. As always, he's always tied to the scene of the crime. I think it's clear as day.
This has to be him. There's no other way to explain it. He showed up at the scene of the crime almost immediately after it happened.
Why? It was not me. Those events were just circumstances. It was not me. I am not the murderer.
Recording 5. The doctor is dead, and now there's only 2 of us. It must be one of us. But I thought I could trust you, Vera. I trusted you.
It has to be you. I would never do something like this.
It's not me. I came here with the best of intentions. I'm a peaceful man.
Well, I was a peaceful woman before I had to do this.
Vera, no! Vera!
I don't know what to do now. I killed another man for my own safety. Oh, look at this rope. It's calling for me and my body's moving on its own. I guess it's my time to go then. Goodbye, world.
This killing business is hard enough without having to clean the bodies. recording sticks. They fell for my words, hook, line, and sinker. They believed every single word I uttered. My genius plan has went through, especially through Dr. Armstrong. I successfully manipulated him into believing that it was Vera and her lover that was the killer. Now, time to enact the final part of my plan. I'm going to kill myself right here, right now. Nobody else has the right to take my life except for me.